Today we're going to look at Decatur's new in-car video unit, the Shadow 800. Shadow office operation is easy. When a DVR comes in from patrol, archiving video is a simple process. We'll look at setting things up, then archiving video, and how to ensure the evidence's integrity. The Shadow is compatible with Windows XP. Before archiving video, you'll want to make sure your computer meets the rest of the system requirements as well. A Pentium 4 or greater, 1 GB of RAM, a 40 GB hard drive with at least 20 GB free for video files, a CD drive, and USB 2.0 with at least one free working USB port. The only driver to install is the freely available DivX codec, which improves video playback. To install it, insert the manual CD that came with your Shadow into your computer. When the manual dialog comes up, choose Install Backoffice Drivers. Click OK to select English. Then click Next to the DivX license agreements. The installer may ask you if you'd like to download the latest version. If your internet connection is fast, feel free to do so. However, the version on the CD works well. Installing a newer version is not necessary. Continue to click Next to move through the dialogues until the installer begins writing files. After it finishes, click Next to the next few dialogues. Leave the address field blank unless you want to receive DivX newsletters. On the last screen, click Close to finish. Your next step is setting up your archive system. Video uses substantial disk space. Make sure your archive location has lots of disk space available. Because every Shadow uses the same file naming scheme, several files can turn up with identical names. Be careful when archiving that you don't overwrite an old file. Here, we see the Shadow in the lower right-hand corner, and the archive folder for Car 54 in the upper left-hand corner. They both contain a file named V0612002. However, the archive file is substantially larger than the file in the DVR. If we attempt to archive the file in the DVR, Windows warns us that we're about to overwrite the archive file. Therefore, we're going to click No and move to a different folder. Out of the Car 54 folder into the Car 57 folder, where the file ought to be archived. Good organization prevents such problems. We recommend a master archive folder, holding several other folders that you organize by car, badge, or officer number. This separates video and prevents data loss. The Shadow names its video files by month, date, and then a sequential number. Use this key, V, then a month code, a day code, and then the number of video. For example, V01-2501 would be a video taken on January 25th, number 1. V03-0708 would be the 8th video taken on March 7th. After you've installed the software and your archive area is organized, hook up the office dock. Thread the cables to the back of the dock. Then plug in the dock's power connector and the USB data cable. Plug the other end of the data cable into a free USB port on your computer and the power adapter into an outlet. Now you're ready to archive video. When you place the Shadow in the office dock for the first time, it'll be recognized by your computer as an external hard drive. Notification bubbles will pop up by the clock, letting you know that your computer recognizes the hardware and is installing it on its own. The computer will notify you when it's ready to use. You'll see this "What do you want Windows to do?" dialog every time you insert the Shadow. Click Open Folder to view files so we can move files off the Shadow and onto our archive system. If that dialog doesn't open, double-click My Computer, then find the drive named DVR, usually E or F. This is the shadow you have docked. Open it, then navigate to the My Record folder, where the shadow records video. To move video, copy and paste it from the shadow to your archive folders. Select the files in the shadow you're archiving, then go to Edit, Copy, move to the Archive folder, and do Edit, Paste. The files will then transfer. When the transfer is finished, double-check to make sure it was successful. Then delete the files from the shadow. Select them, click File, and then Delete. To keep your DVR clean, be sure to empty the recycle bin before you send it back out. Open the recycle bin and click Empty the recycle bin. If you don't see that option, click File, then Empty recycle bin. The files will be deleted permanently and your DVR will stay clean. Eject the DVR safely by clicking the Safely Remove Hardware button by the clock. Choose the DVR and allow Windows to disconnect. When it notifies you, go ahead and remove the shadow from the office dock and send it back into the field. To ensure evidence integrity, the shadow records a frame counter in the upper left-hand corner of each video file. As long as this counter counts up consistently, you can be assured that your video has not been tampered with. In the unlikely case that it jumps over frames, you'll know something is wrong. If you have any questions, feel free to contact Decatur Customer Service at 1-800-428-4315. More information, details about the shadow, and video about using the shadow in the car is available on our website at www.decaturradar.com.